Hello, I am Vandana Kale, Assistant Professor in Instrumentation Engineering Department of AISSMS Institute of Information Technology, Pune. In this session, we are going to see virtual lab experiment to verify the truth table of D flip-flop using NAND and NOR gates. For this experiment, I am going to use the Digital Electronics Lab developed at IIT Bombay and the discipline of electrical engineering. This is the link of the experiment. In earlier two sessions, we have seen the verification of SR and JK flip-flop using the same link. So here I am using the link so as to open the experiment page. So this is the Digital Electronics Lab developed at IIT Bombay. This is the experiment about verification of the truth table of RS, JK, T and D flip-flops using NAND and NOR gates. In this session, we are going to see about D flip-flop. So we will select the theory part. This is the logic diagram or circuit diagram of D flip-flop. It consists of one NOT gate, two NAND gates and two NOR gates. Inputs of the D flip-flop are D and clock signal, and the outputs are Q and Q complement. Here input D, it represents delay input. So in this flip-flop, if clock signal is applied, then Q, it will be 0 if input D is 0 and Q will be 1 if input D is 1. So on the application of the clock signal, Q, it will follow to input D. And if clock signal is not applied, in that case, Q, it will remain as in its earlier state. This is the truth table of D flip-flop. In this truth table, along with D and clock as the input signal, one more signal reset is given, and the outputs are Q and Q complement. So here, if reset is high, then whatever is the status of D and clock, it will not affect and output Q will be 0. So if reset is high or if reset is active, then output Q is 0. It will not consider the state of D and clock. And in this truth table, we can see if reset is not active and clock signal is 1, then Q, it will follow to the input D. So this is about the truth table of D flip-flop. The same we will verify with the help of simulation or simulator. So we will select here D flip-flop. This is the circuit diagram of D flip-flop. With the help of this power switch, we will give supply to the circuit. Now here, power is given to the circuit. Input D is 0 and clock is not applied. So under this condition, output Q is 0 and Q complement is 1. So here we can see LED corresponding to Q is off and that of Q bar is on. Now we will make Q as 1 and we will apply the clock. Now here we can see as clock is 1 and input D is 1, so output Q is 1. So here LED corresponding to output Q is on. Now if input D is 0. And if we apply clock, then in that case, okay, here input D is 1 and clock is 1. So again output Q is 1. Now here input D is 0 and we will give clock. So here we can see as input D is 0 and clock is applied. So output Q, it will follow to D. So output Q, it will also become 0. Now, if we make D as 1 and clock is absent, then in this case, even though D is 1, but clock is not applied, so output Q, it will not follow to D. Output Q, it will remain same as in its previous state. The waveforms corresponding to input D, clock signal, and outputs Q and Q complement, here we can see in the clock diagram. So this is about the truth table verification of D flip-flop along with its clock diagram. Thank you.